The 1984 American Super Bowl saw one of the most controversial and impactful advertisements of all time. The premise of the advertisement was that Apple, represented by a rebellious heroine, is a force of individualism and innovation in a technological world dominated by Big Brother-esque corporations such as IBM. In this video, I'll be conducting a textual and discourse analysis of Apple's 1984 Super Bowl commercial. The advertisement was strategically aired for the first time during the halftime show of the 1984 American Super Bowl and aimed to place Apple Macintosh, then a relatively small and unknown company, on the map. As it was played to millions of people simultaneously, the primary target audience was tech-savvy individuals. Yet, it reached a massive secondary audience of people who craved individual expression, achieved through the embedded value of nonconformity. The advertisement borrowed intertextually from George Orwell's famous dystopian world in his novel 1984. The heavy intertextual allusions within the advertisement, as well as the advertisement's year of release being 1984, aided in audiences' effective decoding of the intended meaning. That Apple is the only mode of individuality and self-expression in a technological world dominated by large corporations like IBM. So let's begin with the textual and discourse analyses. From the beginning, we are subjected to a layered audio montage that acts to build viewer tension. Big Brother's dictatorial speech is overlain with a blaring alarm, masses of marching footsteps, and the consistent rumbling of an air tunnel. This audio cacophony acts to introduce the dystopian world of the commercial, in which brainless drones march to the orders of the totalitarian leader. This cacophony is symbolically disrupted later on by the crashing of the hammer through Big Brother's screen, the disruption of sound symbolising the heroines as a symbol of Apple itself, subversion of the Big Brother, representative of IBM. The mise-en-scene is notably of grey and blue tones throughout the text. The setting and the faceless drones an allusion to the drab dystopian world under totalitarian control. Interestingly, the blue-toned monochrome of the world, coupled with the flickering blue projection of Big Brother on the screen, mimic the blue flickering logo of Apple's major competition, IBM. In fact, the only source of colour throughout the text is of the heroine, a blonde-haired lady costumed in bright red shorts and shoes. This intrusion of bright colour into the monochrome world semiotically represents the values of individuality and nonconformity, the heroine herself coming to represent Apple as a brand. The action of the montage is constructed through cross-cutting between shots to build tension. Dolly tracking shots of the drones are cross-cut with low-angle shots of Big Brother on the screen, of which are intercut with mid-shots of the heroine running towards the camera wielding her hammer. The heroine's actions are all in slow motion, the moment at which she spins and throws the hammer through Big Brother's screen, augmented by the expansion of time. All in all, according to Hall's reception theory, the text construction works to embed the intended meaning into the text, of which is decoded by the target audience to arrive at the dominant intended reading. Apple accomplished this by embedding the values of nonconformity and individualism into the text to arrive at the intended meaning. That Apple products are the only avenue for self-expression and individualism in a technological world dominated by corporations like IBM. In analysing the discourse present in the text, it is clear that Apple is employing a nonconformist discourse in order to sell their Macintosh personal computer to the target audience. Examining the social context of the advert, the 1984 technology market of America was dominated by IBM, affectionately dubbed Big Blue by the American public for their sheer corporate power. By contrast, Apple was a relatively unknown tech company. Apple's desire to subvert IBM's monopoly over technological goods is symbolised in the advert through the heroine's subversion of the totalitarian Big Brother figure. Nonconformist discourse is evidenced through the mise-en-scene and the narrative of the commercial. Apple's 1984 Super Bowl commercial continues to be hailed one of the most influential advertisements of all time. It has garnered millions of dollars of free publicity as it was aired repeatedly by news programs the night of the Super Bowl and for weeks afterwards. Appealing to our innate desire for self-expression, this ad was an appeal to pathos, to the audience's latent emotions and desires. It is said that this is the advertisement that started it all for Apple. This fantastic piece of television advertising was essential to the branding of Apple as the company of individuality and innovation that continues to produce revolutionary technology such as this iPhone or even this computer.